You might be experiencing the ceiling. You might be trying to get to the next level with bigger cases and better patients, and growth that looks more than just another month that looked like the month before it. But the problem is that the moves that you made to get to where you are have stopped paying off. So you're pushing hard against the ceiling, but you can't figure out what it's made of. You've added technology, more hours, you've increased your advertising budget, you focused intensely on management, you've maybe added another location and brought on associates, each one bringing results and then flattening out. The problem isn't that those things don't work. The problem is that the moves that you're making are exactly the same as the moves that other good practices are making. So while you can execute on them flawlessly, you'll still cap out because doing more of the same only carries you so far. And the ceiling keeps on dropping because there's more dentists than ever who are all competing for the same stuff, making the same moves. So the returns on doing the same thing that everyone else is doing keeps shrinking. So the way forward to the next level isn't through more optimization, because the ceiling exists for one reason, which is that patients have no compelling reason to choose your practice over the others. And in business terms, this is called you lack a unique selling proposition. So if more of the same isn't the answer, what is the answer? In 2005, W. Chan Kim and Renee Moborn developed the strategy canvas as a way to map out how businesses compete. The strategy canvas is a graph. Along the bottom are the factors that practices will invest in order to win patients, and dentistry focuses on 12 core factors of competition, which are price, insurance acceptance, location convenience, appointment availability, technology and equipment, clinical excellence, no pressure sales, education and presentation, office atmosphere, patient-doctor continuity, visit efficiency, and membership or discount plans. The height of the line shows how much a practice leans into each factor on a scale of 10. If you take a practice and you plot out their factors of competition and how much they invest into it, you end up with a shape, and that shape is the practice's strategy. So let's plot your strategy canvas right now. Open up your workbook, go to the exercises, and plot your lines based on the level of investment that you make into each factor. 10 meaning that you invest just as much as the strongest competitors in this factor, and 0 meaning that you don't invest into it at all. Be honest with yourself, mark down where you're currently investing, not at the level that you want to be investing. So pause this video and go do the exercise now. Now, every practice can be categorized into one of 7 practice model types. The first is the large DSO, which is characterized by 10 or more locations. The second is the small group practice, which is less than 10 locations. The third is the general private practice, which is your typical default dental office. The fourth is fee-for-service, which is similar to your general private practice, except it's not part of any insurance networks. The fifth is elective practices, who focus on cosmetic and elective work. The sixth is elective specialty practices, who are specialists that focus on elective work. And finally, seventh, you have referral-based specialty practices, who are specialists that almost exclusively work on referrals. Now, each of these models are distinctive. They have real reasons for patients to choose one over the others. Take a moment to consider which practice model best describes your practice and find its typical strategy canvas in the workbook. Now, what happens when you compare your practice's strategy canvas with your practice model's typical strategy canvas? Pause this video and draw your practice model's typical canvas over your strategy canvas. Now, look at the 2 lines. For most practices, they'll sit almost exactly on top of each other. And the strength of the overlap is the strength of your practice's commoditization. And when every option looks the same, patients can choose the only way they can, which is to ask who's the cheapest or who's the closest. It doesn't matter how good your dentistry is if your patients can't tell you apart from the practice next door. You're hitting the ceiling because patients don't have a compelling reason to choose you. Take another look at your strategy canvas, because that is the source of your ceiling, and that's what's been causing you to stay in place. You are being limited because of your strategy. But this also represents your opportunity to unlock real growth, and not by being a little bit better in the same things, but by being deliberately different, specifically in the way that the right patients care about. When your strategy canvas breaks from the pack, the comparisons stop. Price, convenience, and distance stop being the main considerations. Yet almost no one in dentistry has intentionally designed their strategy. but you're about to. We're not going to be building a strategy that's just a little bit better than your competitors. We're going to be building one that stands out among the rest, the one that the right patients seek out and you stop having to fight for their attention. So what does a strong strategy look like? To answer that question, we're going to have to start by understanding your ideal patient.